Hey there, it's Kirsten here, and today I'm going to share with you my experience at the Rythmia Life Advancement Center, where we took ayahuasca, the plant medicine, and I shared my two first videos with you before. The first one was about breath work, and then the second one was about the first and the second night taking the black plant medicine. Today I'm going to tell you more about my third and the fourth night, and the third night was the most meaningful, where I got a lot of answers, where I got my healing, and it was hard, but it was also fun at the same time. So, like I said, the second night had been really hard for me. I went through some childhood trauma that I didn't know even existed. Somehow, our memories are wonderful. They can block out things that they don't want to see, maybe to protect ourselves. But then I mentioned in the last video too that I asked the shaman after the second night, is what I saw really true? Did this really happen to me? Because it's so hard to believe. And he had told me that, why don't you just ask it the next night? Why don't you ask from Mother Ayahuasca? And so that's what I did. So Wednesday night was what they called ladies' night, because the shaman was a woman. All the other nights there was a male shaman, so this time it was a woman, and all her facilitators I think were women. Maybe there were a couple of guys too, but it was ladies' night. And so because the night before had been so hard for me, before I took my shot this time, I set my attention and had a little prayer, and I said, "Please, Mother Ayahuasca, show me what I need to see, but please do it the kindest way possible." I learned it from somebody else who said that this really helped her, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the same thing. And she was much kinder to me than she had been the night before, when she was like totally wild and punched me in my face and told me the ugly truth about my past. So this time, we took the shot, and then again, I started seeing visuals really quickly. I went into this deep state, kind of like state between sleep and aware, but really you're like far away while being awake. It's very, very difficult to describe. And then again, I start getting the same signs, like yawning and like my upper lip twitching and saying things like oh kind of like that. And then people around me started really, really quickly kind of reacting to it. Some people started throwing up immediately. Not immediately, it doesn't happen like within seconds, but maybe like in 20-30 minutes. And then the first thing was like, I asked Mother Ayahuasca, and it was funny, like this time she was actually talking to me. All the other times she had not been talking to me, and I know she had been talking to some other people. Like for my husband, he said that they had like full-on conversation all the time, and Mother Ayahuasca would tell him all the time what to do. For me, she had not been talking to me so far, so it was cool. She started talking to me. She was really nice. She was cool. She had a funny sense of humor. I really liked it, and I know it sounds like absolute nuts, but we were talking, and she was joking, but also being serious. So it was fun. It was like girlfriends chatting. And so one of the first things I asked her, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I asked her if what I saw the night before had really happened in my past, and she said yes. And this is when I had one of my biggest answers, one of the biggest things that I later realized. Now as I'm looking back, I'm like, okay, this is what actually explained a lot of my eating disorder behaviors, a lot of my things from my past, where I never felt that I can speak up, because I was probably told not to talk about things to anyone. That's why I've been experiencing a lot of sadness without understanding why, and now I had the answer why all this happened, why I've been feeling this way. So going into night 3 and getting this answer, after that, Mother Ayahuasca and I, it was so funny. We went on a car ride, and it looked totally like Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland, if you've ever done that. So we're in this big car. She was in the driver's seat. I was in the passenger seat. We're driving around with crazy, crazy speed, really, really fast. And then she tells me, I know it's going to be hard. I have to show you some things. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be good at the end. And I was like, okay, I can handle this. Let's do it, but please be kind to me. And so we're driving, and the music again, it matches so well with what you see. And the music's kind of loud and like a little bit scary. And then we're going crazy, crazy speed. And then she asks me, okay, tell me three things that are wrong with your physical body that you want to get rid of, and we'll fix them together. This is literally what she told me. And then before I even had the chance to answer, she told me, she asked me, do you still have your eating disorder? And I said, I don't think so. I think it's gone, because I feel like my eating disorder, I got rid of it maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And she's like, well, let me just make sure that it's not really there. And I see that she's reaching out her hand. She's taking something. She's like squeezing it together. It looks literally like a piece, like a brown piece of like shit, actually. And she tosses it and she's like, it's gone. It's gone for good. That was pretty amazing. And then the second thing, she was like, okay, what else do you have? So she kind of answered the first thing. And I said, I like, my stomach hurts sometimes a lot when I'm on my period. Actually, most of the time it hurts a lot. I don't know why it is this way, but can we heal that? And then she said, okay, let me take a look. And she tells me, I see some gray spot there on your uterus area, but let me take care of it. And she reaches out her hand, she puts it into my belly, she pulls something out, and she puts it in this box. She puts it in this box, and she's like, okay, what else you got? And I said, I have low back pain. I've had this for 2 years. And she's like, let me take a look. And then I don't remember like if she put my hand in my back or whatever, but somewhere she took like this baseball sized ball, and she's like, this is your back pain. I don't know, it's not going to go away right now, but let's see what we can do. Eventually you'll get over it, but it's going to take some time. And then she puts it away in the same box where my other problem was. So these things were like boxed up now, and we continued driving. And so I remember asking her a lot of questions. Like, I don't even remember all the things that I asked, but I realized I was like this and that and third thing. And she was really patient and nice, and she was a bit funny and sarcastic. And then at one point she was like, girl, this is too many questions. Let's just drive and, shut up. And so we went on driving. And and then I think at some point she kind of threw the box away. I don't remember that moment very well, but she got rid of this box somehow. So the problem, whatever problem I had in my stomach and back pain, she threw them away. But she said that I have to be patient with my back pain because this is going to take some time. And this is when I heard the second call for a second cup. The call for the second cup of medicine. And I was like, oh, this has been fun. I'm going to definitely go ahead and take the second cup of medicine. But I also had this gut feeling that if the first half had been so awesome, then the second half maybe is not going to be that awesome. So, and I was right about that. I took the second cup and I went to lie down again. And she started showing me kind of continuation from the second night. They say that you never see exact same thing anymore that you had already seen, because this is gone, right? This is put away, but still the theme was still there. And now, because something bad had happened to my body in the past, what she showed me in the second night, now she wanted me to die. This body had to die. I know it sounds crazy, but this is exactly what happened. And there I am, I'm lying down on my bed, and I feel how my body, and I can see it's all black. The muscles and the bones are black, like black. And I see how my body starts to kind of lift off from me. Like it just goes like floating like that, muscle by muscle. I'm like, all right, there goes my biceps, and there goes my deltoids, and there goes my bones, and everything kind of was black and just like went up like that. And then when nothing else was gone and nothing else was left anymore, then like a big piece of like black iron metal thing just pushed everything that had gone up, pushed everything down through the ground and set everything on fire. So that was me dying. I died taking ayahuasca. And then as soon as this had happened, everything went through the ground. This beautiful, like golden white body just emerged from the ground, and that was my rebirth. I had a new body. It was beautiful. Like I said, it was like golden white, like shiny and clean, and really beautiful. And this was new me. And then I think the rest of the night, I saw like a little bit of flashbacks from the second night, the thing that happened to me, but it was pretty long, but it wasn't as hard or gross anymore. It was just like small pieces. And then when I woke up, when it was time to wake up, it was absolutely weird. I wake up and I'm looking at my hands, and the first thing that I say, I'm like, I have new hands. I have new hands. I'm looking at my hands that are completely new to me. I start like touching my fingers. I start like bending them, and it's crazy how flexible my fingers were. Like I could like do all kinds of things and like twisting and turning my fingers, and like everything felt completely new to me. And then I grabbed my belly and I squeezed my belly rolls, and there's the, is this my body? This feels odd. This feels different. And my toes and everything felt completely different. So this was my new body. It's it's so crazy to even talk about it, but this is how I felt. And I was still really, really high. The medicine was still working. And so, and then the music was still loud. And then because it was the ladies' night, they did a little bit differently. They did like a lot of dancing after the ceremony was over. I mean, it was still part of the ceremony, but it was like after the ceremony, like the second half of the ceremony or towards the end. And they did a lot of dancing. It was like super fun and beautiful. The shaman and the facilitators and some people who had already been waking up, they stood up, they're dancing. It was like this wild, like jungle dance. It was so gorgeous, so beautiful. And I wanted to go and join them. But I just couldn't. I was making an effort to get up, but my body was like, nope, girl, you're not ready. You're going to have to lie down. And then I felt like my intuition was so strong. Like without thinking about it like twice, I felt like I want to sing along. And it just came from me. I started singing, and there was never a moment like, is this right or wrong? What does anybody think of me? I was just starting singing. I don't know. It was like so intuitive. It came from like deep from my soul that I need to sing right now. I couldn't dance, but I was singing, and I was looking at those people kind of drifting off, trying to go back to sleep and waking up and then singing. And it was a beautiful experience. I loved it. It was great. This was kind of like the highlight of my my ceremonies there, like the rebirth, just feeling my new body, and like the beautiful dancing that I saw after that. And the dancing was what happened in real life, right? So that wasn't my vision anymore. So I thought I'm gonna share the fourth night with you in this video too, but this is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and share the fourth night, which wasn't actually too great for me, with you in the next video. But the third one, yeah, that was great. And I was hoping that the fourth one is gonna be sort of similar to that, but it actually did. So, all right. If you have any questions, leave them here, or you can share them wherever you can find me, my blog, my Instagram, wherever, if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you in a bit.